What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Theta, Link, and Tezos. Those are the five I'm going to have time to get into today. I also want to put out, I'm not too sure in about the next day or two what's going to be going on. I had my uncle pass away just the other night, and with his calling hours and funeral and everything, I just don't know how it's all going to go with getting videos out here. So I'm going to try to do the best that I can, but we definitely ask for your prayers if could pray for our family. Just had a lot going on. My dad's cancer numbers still been going up pretty decent, so just been a tough time. We definitely appreciate your prayers if you could do that, and we'll get into this. I just wanted to let you know that the next few days could be pretty tough, but we'll do the best we can. All right, so we're going to start in here on Bitcoin. And what I want to point out is we're still in this symmetrical triangle. So this is definitely a symmetrical triangle, or like a pennant pattern that we're going to be following here. And typically in these pennant patterns, they're going to be neutral, and that's what we're still waiting for. The candles are getting really tight, as we've talked about in the last video. When those candles get tight, you're waiting for that next explosive move. And out of a symmetrical triangle or a pennant, you're not exactly sure. It's more neutral which direction it's going to go. You want to wait for that confirmation to get a nice daily candle close outside of that symmetrical triangle, and then look to see, you know, what's tough about this here in terms of the symmetrical triangle to the upside, we have a decent amount of overhead resistance still. And a lot of the times when you have resistance that's stacked right up to where you would be breaking out, it can act as overhead resistance, like strong overhead resistance, and you'll get almost like a fake breakout. So that's something that you always want to pay attention to and watch for, is the overhead resistance and how close it is to the potential breakout point. But what we need to do is break out of the top of this symmetrical triangle, and then we'd have to get over 11,084. If we are able to get over top of that, it'd be 11,500. And then up to the main target that I would look at, if we could get a really strong breakout of here, is about 11,900. We'll call it $12,000. That's going to be an area that I almost have like a target on if we do get to the upside, because I want to see what we do with that 12 before we go up here and test this overall top that we had out of this head and shoulders pattern when we had that break to the downside. So there's some decent overhead resistance, but there's also some gaps in here of $400 to $500 to where we really could expand well to the upside. If we do get heavy volume, we could cut right through these resistances. You know how this game goes. Just like over here, you get these daily candles of about $1,200, and it just slices through everything. But if we are to break to the downside here, that would be us losing the 100 moving average in yellow. We want to continue to hold that. Also, this 10,440 in green. And that's also going to correlate with the bottom of this symmetrical triangle. So there's a lot there that we're hoping will hold as support. But, you know, in this market, anything can happen. It's whale driven. It's manipulated. So just pay attention. But if we are to break down through these areas, I'd look to find support at the 200 moving average and see what we do with that at 9,925. It's also the psychological number of $10,000. That's the spot I'd look to see if we could get a bounce off of if we do have a break to the downside. But right now, RSI is at 47. We are getting higher lows on the RSI. We still haven't got a big swell of volume yet. Whenever the candles get tight, that's going to mean the volume's dropping as well before you get that big explosive move. So for us, for Bitcoin here, it's just being patient. That's the main thing. If we get into the technicals for Bitcoin, on the 1-day time frame here, we have a 12 sell, 9 neutral, 7 buy oscillators. They're looking a little bit better here. 0 sell, 8 neutral, and a 3 buy. The buys are going to be the awesome oscillator, the momentum, and the MACD. So that's going to be Bitcoin. If you like me covering Bitcoin, guys, you get some from these videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to move into Ethereum next. Take a look at ETH. So for Ethereum right now, I've been looking at this on the Fibonacci as well. So this entire move that we had from the bottom, from our low to our swing high, right now we're sitting on the 0.38 Fibonacci level, and that's $337. And that's also going to correlate with the 100 moving average. So this is a spot we want to hold as support. If we're able to do that, we're going to try to get up above about $362. Going to be the overhead target at first, then be up around 378. Is going to be the area. But you can see in this downtrend, we had this big push down, tried to go back up, came back down again, and we still set a higher low, just barely, but we set a higher low. And then this next one would be our higher low. If we could get that, we're kind of in one of those equilibrium patterns right now. If we do lose this area, I'm going to look down to the 200 moving average, see if we find support at 295. Is going to be the area. RSI is at 41, so we have plenty of room to run to the upside if we do get some nice buying pressure off this 0.382 at $337. If we get into trading view and we take a look, Summary is a 15 sell, 10 neutral, 3 buy. Oscillators 1 sell, 9 neutral, and a 1 buy. And you're getting strong sell signals from the moving averages because we are having that 20 EMA and the 50 moving average pressing down upon us right now. And the candle's getting really tight. So this is an area to really pay attention to and see what happens if we're going to get that swell of volume to push us to the upside or if we're going to have to go down lower. So keep an eye on those areas. That's going to be Ethereum. Next, we're going to move into Theta. And if you're here for Theta, let me know down low if you like me covering it. So with Theta, the main thing I would be cautious of, and I'm just going to put this out there for y'all, kind of have horn tops up here. And a lot of times when you get horn tops with these long wicks and they're separated by time like that, you need a good retracement before you can get moving to the upside again. Because we failed, we came back down, we tried to push up again on weak volume. We had that wick, could not get up over top of that, and now we're starting to have that failure and we're starting to have some weak volume, and we're also having some negative divergence there on the RSI. RSI is at 58. We're trying to hold essentially this 200 moving average, or I'm sorry, this 20 EMA in purple, and that's going to be at 67 cents. So if we drop down through that, the target I would look at for Theta would be around 59 cents. And see right here, we'd want that to become support, and that also correlate with the 50 moving average, which we do get deeper dips into. You can see right here with the wicks, we got deep into that before the 50, and sometimes we can even go down to the 100, and that would put us back around 46 cents. If we do get there. But I would just be cautious in this area. These horn tops, you know, they can really do some tricky things, and I'll even show you next and link how we had the tri-tops at the top, and then after that we had a really big sell-off. So I would just watch these things. It's not 100% guarantee, but I definitely keep it on my list there for Theta because we could have a deeper retracement in the days, weeks, months to come. But, you know, if Bitcoin blasts off and Ethereum blasts off, it may not matter, and Theta could just really make a strong move to the upside. And if that does happen, we'd need to get up above 80 cents. Because remember, in this market, guys, anything can happen, but we do look at the technicals and the price action, and we're aware of the indicators that were being sent. So that's going to be Theta. Next, we're going to get into Link. Link's at $8.82. What we're trying to do for Link here is find support off this 200 moving average. Last time we had a bullish engulfing candle. Right now we're having a bit of a doji candle. And what we're having on the RSI, it's at 39, and we're trying to set our higher low here. So this is the spot we need to find support off of. We don't want to go below $7.27. And that was going to be our previous low here. But this might be a spot where we had a nice deep retracement. We find support here, then we get that next wave to the upside. And if that does happen, we need to get up over top of $9.72, and then it's going to be up around $10.99. Then I'd be up around that $12.81. But this definitely could be a spot that we could find support off this 200 moving average. And then these were the wicks that I wanted to show you. And I talked about these when we were up at around $20, these tri-wicks, almost like tweezer tops, but we had 3 of them there. And you can see we also started to lose momentum on the RSI with these wicks. And since those wicks, if we take a look here to where we're at now, we're down 55%. So that's why I like swing trading this market. I think that's one of the best things. When you see great profits staring you in the face here, I think sometimes that's when you want to take your profit and then wait to potentially buy back at another spot, because in this altcoin market, we can retrace 50% very easily. And then you can accumulate more and try to get that next leg. But we're looking to see if this is where the downtrend ends. We find support off the 200 and start moving. So we don't want to start having daily candle closes below that 200 moving average. Then we'd be in a little bit more trouble. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on with the market there. So that's going to be Link. Keep an eye on those areas. And then we're going to go into Tezos. But overall, like we were talking about with Bitcoin yesterday, you know, guys, we're so low in the terms of market cycle. If you actually look at the whole Ethereum market cycle and everything, we're at the very bottom. I mean, Ethereum was over $1,400 at one point. So if you really take a look at where we're at, you know, this isn't a terrible time, not financial advice, to be accumulating some of these coins that you think are going to do well. You know, even like one of these Tezos, this is a very low area. We've, you know, dropped down roughly 55%, and a lot of times you'll get a move back. Even if it was back to $3.35, you know, that could be a heck of a play if this is the area where the downtrend is going to stop. But the main thing, what we're looking at for Tezos here, I want to hold this purple trend line. Do you see this? These are our higher lows. right there. And what's tough about this now, we have our 20, our 50, our 100, and our 200 pressing down on us as overhead resistance. So if we're going to get moving, this is a spot we need to get moving off of this purple trend line here. If we can, we'd look to get up above $2.22, and then it'd be up to around $2.64 is going to be the overhead resistance. If we drop to the downside, we're going to look at $1.82 as another area right there, and then it'd be down around $1.27 in both of those areas. After this big drop here, like we've had over here before and many times, I would look to accumulate some down in that lower area. But that's just me. I think this is one, once we do get moving back to the upside, whether it be, you know, days, weeks, months down the road, if we get over top of $4.38, we could run really hard and fast, and it could be that price discovery like we had with Link. So, you know, that's one of the things I'm looking at, and we're just going to see if we can start getting that move to the upside. If we throw our stock RSI in here as well, right now we're at 62 and 72. So I just wanted to point that out there. But if you get some from these videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. I appreciate you being here with me today. Take care, my friends.